There it is.
Got it.
Hey, welcome to Joey. Do it, Joey. Hey, welcome to episode 63 of CJ Squared. Your boys are back at it again with some hot topics on the sports world. You know, we got so much going on. I always say this, right now. Baseball races are heating up. Football season has just started. NFL season is off and running. College season is off and running. Pretty soon we have the NHL, and somebody's gonna be mad at me because we're playing fantasy hockey. So, but speaking of fantasy, as always, fantasy football is fantasy football. If you think you know fantasy football and you know what's gonna happen, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to everybody.
Unless your name is David Paladin. He knows everything about everything.
Hey, tell David Paladin, Lord have mercy. David Paladin, are you buying back in? That's the hot topic for the night for you, David. Are you buying back in? Because I have not received
tomorrow morning.
I better know tomorrow morning. Thank you. All right. Speaking of that, so like I said, here we are. My man Joey got half of Jordan showing. My man Chris looking like he's depressed. I don't know. Maybe he's having a hard time. things not going as well as he'd like to, but I doubt it. Chris is always like even kill. So what's going on in sports? But particularly what's going on in CJ Squared sports. As always, that's the one thing you know about CJ Squared, about this crew right here. We walk the talk. Walk the talk. You heard Joey? That's what you say. We walk the talk.
Walk the talk.
Like I believe it when I see it when I believe it. See, yeah, that's the saying. So right now we got the fantasy baseball season going on. All three of us are in the finals. So that's at least guaranteed that one of us will be in the finals. Joey and Chris seem to always be battling each other
always battling
at some point in a semifinal or something. Or it's either Joey or Chris, me and Chris, or me and Joey. It's always us doing something going against each other.
Yes, it is.
In a semifinal or final or whatever. But right now, I know the guy, his name is I Am the Wiener, which I guess he's the winner. He's probably wants some revenge because he couldn't come up with a victory in fantasy football last week. So he's trying to get revenge against me in fantasy baseball. That's okay. Hopefully, I can pull it off and make it to the championship as my first year playing fantasy baseball. Every week playing fantasy baseball that I advance, all it does is just cause a problem for the rest of the world. Just so you know. All right. Joey's like, yeah, that's right. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be an issue. But also, we have our conferences going on. I'm gonna pop them up real quick. You can see how we're doing with our drafts. I'm gonna pull up our college conferences. Our college conferences are pretty tight. Me and Chris are neck and neck. We locked up. Me and Chris, right? We both 24 and 6. My man Joey, 1911. Last year, Joey at this time, Joey was like 28-2 at this time, or 27-3. He was dominating.
I'm right there.
He right there. He's in striking distance. So, yep, you see what we got going on. And we were talking earlier about some of the teams we missed. We definitely missed out on maybe a Tennessee, Penn State. Still the team you said Wake Forest.
Arkansas. No one had Arkansas.
Arkansas, that was probably the big one. Yeah, Arkansas.
Those are three teams right in the top 15 that nobody took. So that tells you right there.
Yeah. So it's early though. So we, as we go along, we'll see. NFL is not so pretty for none of us, right? Joey, over 500, Chris 500. I'm a game below 500. This could just change next week, right? Because a couple wins here and there, and it's you know what I'm saying? The Bills are looking really good. The Bucks are 2-0, but man, now are they looking good? Their wide receivers banged up.
No.
Colts are looking like trash. Giants 2-0 looking good. Packers look good against the Bears, but that was the Bears. Chiefs, the Chiefs should be 1-1, but my man threw a pick by the end zone. You know that happens.
And got cribbed.
Yeah, you get big plays sometimes. I guess, and then we're gonna talk about this because you see the record so far. Get an idea of, because one of our questions is the biggest disappointment. You can look on here and see there are some teams that really are, that had some high expectations and are playing like crap on a cracker. And of course, you know, we're gonna have our picks this week, week 4 of our college picks. I'll let you know that right now Buttons is in the lead. He has 21 right, followed by C Double with 20, and I have 19. And I believe Joey has 16. And
right there.
Right there.
I'm right there.
Chris brings the rear, but Chris had his best week so far. So he's, you know, he got that positive regression going on, right, Chris?
I'm the little engine that could right now.
You got that positive regression. So
I'm just chugging up.
Chugging up.
I know Joey says it's a marathon, so I want to believe that right
It's a marathon, not a race.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's a race. I tell you, like in this, like I can tell you, like last week, it's my last thing about fantasy baseball tonight. Last week, I just knew I took an L. The day of that Sunday morning, I'm sitting here busy. I'm like going through all my stuff. I got all these leagues to run. I'm trying to get everybody's stuff straight for the survivor pool. And I wasn't checking my phone. And I looked up and the guy I was playing had picked up like 7 pitchers.
That's my stepdad.
The Diesel. That was Diesel.
Hey, that's Dana. Yeah, that's my stepdad.
Diesel, JB.
I got you, Dana.
I don't know what happened. Like, because I know when I went to bed, he called me up. He's like, I think I got this one. And then when I went to bed, it was 14-13. They must have had a stat correction, something.
I saw it was a stat correction for Birdie from Miami. Something happened with Birdie. And I saw the stat correction for him. That must have been a stat correction that got me a tie. And the tie goes to who? The higher seed. The person
there who because I never concern myself with being the higher seed, but I guess in this case it pays off.
It paid off on that one. Because
yeah, I mean it was.
I woke up. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Normally, when I lose, I don't even check. I know I'm lost. I don't even check the stats. I just I'm gonna give myself some time to just ease into it. You know how on your phone you get the message from Yahoo saying it'll pop up.
Yeah.
So I'm in my office working. Look at my phone. It pops up. You tied. You the winner.
Oh man.
By the skin of his teeth.
Oh man.
I was like, let's go. I couldn't even like, normally I say, okay, I could clap back. He made all those moves. I would be like, you know what? Here, I'm going to do the same thing. I couldn't. It was too late. Like everybody was already playing. So I couldn't.
Well, yeah, because there was nobody left, I think, when he.
Yeah, I couldn't move anybody. I couldn't do nothing.
Yeah.
I had to take it. I just took it. Like, oh well, I gotta take it. Luckily, I decided, stay there, made it close, and stat correction time.
Yeah. I think he ended up getting screwed because he had Yastrzemski, I think, playing, and then that he ended up not playing that night, and then he had to make a move to get a guy on the Dodgers, and that guy's just like a backup guy, and that guy went 0 for 5 or something.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to you, stat correction. Shout out.
Yeah, you'll take it.
This one's for you, stat correction.
By any means necessary.
A win is a win.
This was
You said what, Joey?
This was for all you people and Yahoo stat correction. Absolutely.
If I had my hat, I would tip it for you. All right, let's get it started, man. Oh man, I tell you, the one thing about fantasy sports and sports in general, man, you gotta laugh at some of the stuff that happens, man, because it's comedy, man. You can't even believe it.
I know was not happy.
Yeah,
I see people get the stat correction get people, man. That's the stat correction to get you.
Oh yeah,
especially in fantasy football.
If you think you got it locked in, and then all of a sudden you have something like that, oh man, that can
stat correction saved me last year, because remember I was sitting in my office again, and I texted Chris. I was like, Chris, I'm up 81 points. And Lamar's going tonight. What's my chances of winning? You like, man, you good. You golden.
Oh, yeah, you're good. Oh, that was
man, I looked at my computer and watched the game, and I swear that the points had my brother beating me, right? But in the morning time I woke up, we were tied. And we tied, and it was a decimal point we tied on.
Oh good.
My gosh.
And I took it. And I took all that money from him last year.
Was that the who went off that night? Lamar?
It was Lamar.
Lamar went off.
It was because he was playing the Colts, and the coaches kept on screwing up and let Lamar just come back, and he went to overtime.
Yeah, it went into overtime. He scored one and
threw a touchdown in overtime. And
that was the one he kept throwing. Mark Andrews he was just killing it,
feeding him.
Yeah. And then
I remember speaking of Lamar, I played Berto the Wolf. He had Lamar on the bench, so he took an L. He benched Lamar for who?
For those people that
Winston.
Lamar and Tuba sitting. My goodness.
Let me tell you something. Here's a fantasy strategy for all you guys. When you draft a starting quarterback, don't draft another quarterback to put yourself in that position. I learned that lesson many years ago when I drafted Matt Ryan and Dak, and I was trying to trade him to Chris the whole year. Don't do it. Just draft one guy, and then just, unless you're in a two quarterback league, man. Don't waste your draft picks, man.
Don't waste it.
All right. Anyway, let's talk about the NFL. All right. So as you watch the games this weekend, Joey and Chris, you watch some of them. We'll watch the highlights. There were many comebacks this weekend. Which one was the biggest comeback for you, Joey?
Chris and JB, millions. The biggest comeback took place in Cleveland. Jets, Cleveland.
Oh my God.
Just when you didn't think it could get any worse for what's happening in Cleveland, they give up 2 touchdowns within a minute and 55 seconds.
No. Minute 33 seconds.
Minute 33 seconds. They had the lead with a minute and 55 seconds left and gave it up in a minute 33. That's just Cleveland for you. Everything just goes wrong for them unless LeBron is there. Quick a quick piece of poetry.
It's poetry hour.
Created by the Godfather, who is a huge Steelers fan and hates everything about Cleveland, hates everything about Baltimore. Just to drive the knife into the backs of Cleveland fans a little bit more, here is a piece from the Godfather. Roses are red, violets are blue. Ernest Biner is in the end zone. The ball is on the 2. Based on the Cleveland-Denver AFC Championship, where Ernest Biner fumbled and then John Elway took the ball down and scored and went to the Super Bowl. Shouts out to the Godfather for that beautiful piece.
That was devastating.
Cleveland is cursed. Clearly, Cleveland football is. That's when
they had Mack and Biner, didn't they? They had two big backs.
Yes, they did. That was
Ernest Biner did get he got his man.
Yes, he did.
He went to the Skins and they won a championship.
Yes, they did.
He was a monster on Madden. He was like a 99 on Madden that year.
Ernest Biner was an outstanding running back in the NFL. But that's an awful loss. So, number one, they missed the extra points right afterwards. They gave up a touchdown in 2 plays.
The blown coverage touchdown.
The onside kick, it looked like they had their
Amari Cooper
had their hands team in.
Oh,
Looked like the running back that should have caught the ball went to block.
It was Amari Cooper.
Just that overall, this has been a disastrous season for them, and this is week 2.
Yeah,
it's just week 2.
But hey, Godfather, don't talk too fast because you got Cleveland on Thursday.
They got him. But we'll see. They can make up for it with a W. They can somehow make up for it still.
We got this is must see TV. We got Mitch Trubinsky versus
Mitch is looking really, really bad. Mitch is looking
we'll have to discuss when we think Pickett is going to be coming in.
It's getting close. The Godfather is getting impatient about the quarterback.
he's looking at his watch. Come on.
He is getting impatient about QB play in Pittsburgh. But definitely, I think the most surprising one was Cleveland. The Jets coming back on Cleveland. They had no business doing it, but they are the Cleveland Browns.
Nick Chubb said he should have just sat down instead of scoring that touchdown.
He shouldn't have. And Nick Chubb is trying to take pressure off of the coach defense. I mean, stop him. Minute 55 seconds. Stop him. Get off the freaking field. That's all you got to do. So,
all right.
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, I had Cleveland in my survivor, so I thought that's one of those.
One of mine as well.
Yeah, I mean, so that one stings the most to me because I'm like, I'm good. When you look at it and you're up by that much with 3-4 minutes left, you're like, all right, I'm feeling good. So for me personally, but I think the biggest comeback was, for multiple reasons, was the Miami-Baltimore game. I know C-Double and the hot one, they're probably going crazy.
Yes.
I mean,
Double, man, he was they just kept on texting me. They were so excited. Too bad this week they'll get brought down to earth and the Bills will slaughter them. But go ahead.
and freaking Miami, their defense got me. They dominated week 1. Their defense got me negative points this week.
They gave Lamar a 78-yard touchdown run.
Lamar, and that's the thing is,
Bateman
for
too.
reasons that was the best one was because Lamar, I mean, as far as watching the game, that's super entertaining because you got Lamar just going off, and they get up by 21 points. They had a 21-point lead.
That should have been game.
Yeah, I mean, and then with 13 minutes left, they're up 35-14. So you're thinking, all right, that's game. And so I mean, we and the press and everybody's been kind of waiting for Tua to kind of, play. I mean, obviously not this level, but to step up his play. And finally we see him just go nuclear. I mean, he just goes just crazy.
Bada boom, bada bing.
I mean, yeah.
Like the Knicks last year. What was it? Knicks last year? What was that thing?
Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. After the first game at home, they were going crazy.
Oh man. I mean, what do you have? 469, 6 touchdowns, and 4 of them in the fourth quarter. I mean, those two, each of those guys had over 160, right? His 2 big ones.
Yeah.
His 2 big receivers.
Waddle and Hill. Chris said he was at a bar and told everybody watch him do the Waddle when he scored. That sound like you. Like, yeah, that sound like you.
Waddle, 11 catches, 171 and 2 touchdowns. Hill, 11 catches, 190 and 2 touchdowns. Those are, for one of those guys to do it is crazy.
For 2 of them to do it.
For 2 of them to have 11 catches, they're slinging it all over the field. So
everybody's going to think they're going to do it every week. No.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that we actually say, well, what is Tua capable? I mean, he's not going to go and put up these kind of numbers. These are Madden numbers right there. You know what I mean? He's not going to do that every week. But the fact is, if you see LAC, if he can do something if he has weapons around him, which is the reason you go and get Tyreek Hill. This is exactly why you go and you say, we know he's not going to necessarily be a guy who we can just say, go get us. We've got to get him weapons. He's not going to be a guy like Rodgers who maybe can make receivers, but if you put some weapons around him, maybe he can carry us. And I think that defense is still good enough to make some wins. So it's good to just see that, that Miami, I mean, they're still going to get blown out, I think, by Buffalo. I don't think they're on that level, but
that was a game of just blown coverages, man. It's like,
I wouldn't say that
on both sides are undisciplined.
I mean, I don't think that anyone is saying that Miami is a Super Bowl contender yet, but this is kind of what they've been waiting for. So
cover your ears, C-Double. Cover your ears, bro. Cover your ears.
Yeah, sorry, C-Double. But a heck of a game. I mean, as a fan, and if you love offense, that NFL doesn't have those kind of games normally.
Right.
Not that level of shootout. So
yeah. The last one like that was like Tampa Dallas last year was sort of like that. And I remember that one. Remember that time that the Rams played the Chiefs that one year on that Monday night.
Yes, that was
crazy.
Great game.
And the defense scored touchdowns on both teams, but it was still a lot of freaking points.
Right.
All right, for me, really quick, it was probably the car. It was just because you already said some good ones. The Cardinals and the Raiders. Raiders, what y'all doing, man? What are you doing? I don't understand. Listen, you can put us three in a room, give us a game plan for an NFL team, and we would win
easily.
How does Josh McDaniels throw the ball? How does Adams get 2 receptions?
Yeah,
easily.
And you just let Kyler Murray run around like a freaking chicken back there.
Yes, they did.
And scramble around. So yeah, that was and the Cardinals, man, it was a big for them because now they're 1-1, and the Raiders, who had playoff hopes, he brought in all these guys. He brought in Devontae Adams, and now you're 0-2.
0-2, staring.
He already started the season off.
Yep.
In a bad place. So yeah, that's my biggest one. I mean, Devontae Adams, 2 receptions. Not even mentioning he killed me in fantasy. That's not even a personal aspect. How do you pass the ball to this guy?
Give him the ball.
Carr, go watch some Aaron Rodgers tape.
Watch it.
Let's feed the guy. Force feed him. I mean, you can't be worried about him being covered tight because you got Renfro and Waller. Probably what they need now is just their running game to work, and they abandoned the running game. I never understand teams. These guys in the NFL. But anyway, that leads us to our next question. Right? It's right on. That's a good segue. So the next question is, which team so far, in just 2 games, but which team so far has been the biggest disappointment? I'll start with you first, Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna go a team. I wasn't super high on it anyway, but we had talked about getting a new quarterback and Matt Ryan. I'm gonna go with the Colts, just more because of the teams that they've struggled with right now. I mean, you have 2 of the bottom tier teams. Did the Texans even make I don't think anyone took the Texans.
No,
nobody took the Texans.
And actually, the Texans, you could say they're one of the they gave Denver fits. They almost won that game, and then and they tied the Colts. So I mean, and then Jacksonville, they don't even put a point on Jacksonville, right? I mean, what did they had to come back to beat to tie the Texans, and then they get blanked by Jacksonville. You go out, you got now Michael Pittman didn't play last week, but you got supposedly the best running back in football. And then, you bring in Matt Ryan, who you hope would be an upgrade over Wentz. I mean, to me, the one mark I guess that they could say is last year they were 1-4 at the start, and then they had a chance to make the playoffs at the end. But, if that's 2 of your easy, if you're locking in, you say 10 wins this year, you definitely are thinking, well, Texans and Jags, that's 4 wins right there.
Right.
They come out and they're 0-1-1. So they got the Chiefs, so they could start. They probably most likely are going to start 0 or what?
They're going to start 0. They're going to start 0-2-1.
Yeah. So and then they've got the Titans, which the Titans don't look great either. So that'll be interesting. And they got the Broncos and then the Jags again. So We'll see with the Titans. That's going to be a big game because shoot, who knows? The Jags may end up winning that division with the way that it's looking right now. And the Jags had Washington on the rope, so they could have beat them. But yeah, getting back to the Colts, I don't know. Pittman is huge for them. Obviously, they've got to have, you've got to have him because they just don't have that many other wideouts that really
picked the dude up. I thought they'll get some catches. He gave me zeros across the board.
I mean, and that's the thing.
Paris Campbell. Good job, Paris. Thank you.
If you get behind, you take Jonathan Taylor kind of out of what he does, so they can't afford to really be in chase mode because that's just not who they are. They're a team with, a good defense, a good offensive line, and a great running game. And so that's kind of what they want to do. And they haven't really established that this year. So is it Matt Ryan is just done and he's just kind of, on his way out and we're, and maybe that's what the Colts are. They did it with Rivers. Now they do it with, yeah. I mean, but that's what you get if you're not going to go after a guy, if you're not going to go after, try to, get a quarterback, you just try to keep winning. I mean, really, they look at Rivers on his last leg. Carson
Wentz,
and now Ryan, they're just basically saying our offensive line and our defense and our run game is so good, we're just going to kind of throw anybody back there.
Yeah, they just all they do is wasting that all that good stuff they have and wasting it.
Yeah, so for me, it's the Colts. So,
Joey, who you got as your most disappointing team?
Millions, Chris and JB. There's one team that is clearly, as of right now, is clearly the most disappointing team in the NFL. The Denver Broncos are the most.
Stack it, hack it. Going to get fired here and before halfway season.
They are extremely disappointing. I mean, of course, we think everybody that's a fan of the NFL has been hyping up the AFC West as the greatest on paper, the best stacked division maybe in the history of football. The way that they looked on paper, Denver has looked very disappointing. Las Vegas has looked very disappointing. Denver, huge issues. Now, the defense seems to be playing pretty well. They're top 10 in pretty much every single category. The offense is doing what I'm not going to say doing what they want, but they have shown flashes, but turnovers, untimely turnovers, awful turnovers by the running backs. Russell Wilson is completing less than 60% of his throws at the moment. And they are the most penalized team in the NFL at the moment. Recipe for disaster.
Disaster.
I saw one of the main, as far as penalties go, I believe I saw that they have 4 delay of game penalties in the Seattle game, especially at the end. Them managing the clock was absolutely awful. Russell Wilson just standing there for like 20 seconds, just standing there, and they're trying to figure out are they going to kick the field goal or are they going to keep Russ out there? Oh my gosh, Mike Shanahan.
He's not coming through there.
He's not walking through that door. Dan Reeves is not walking through that door anytime soon. Gary Kubiak, they need to just tighten up. Now they got a huge game Sunday. Huge game. 49er game is a huge game. They can write everything at the moment. It's a huge game for both teams, actually. They are playing home. Another awful stat. The Broncos have the most false start penalties in the NFL. Now, their first game, granted, they played in arguably the loudest stadium in the league when they played in Seattle, and it was a little bit extra because Russ was going back home. But this is just a very undisciplined team at the moment. They need to tighten up. They should stop. Russ is not the same Russ. Maybe he's not going to run quite as much, but his 59% completion percentage, that's an ugly stat for someone who should be a top 5 quarterback on paper. Someone that they paid like he's the best quarterback in the NFL. Russ needs to tighten up also. The entire team needs to tighten up. The Broncos are the most disappointing team in the league right now.
Joey, let me give you this real quick. They're 7th in total yards, 8th in passing yards, and 10th in rushing yards. So they're top 10 in all three. They're 24th in points. So that tells you right there, they're moving the ball like they want. They're just not punching in. And that we've already talked about. If you're in the AFC West and you're putting up field goals and that kind of thing when against the Chiefs and the Chargers,
ain't working.
That's not a recipe for success. I mean, their defense, they're 3rd in total yards, 5th in passing yards, and 5th in rushing yards, and 3rd in points. So they're not,
but hold on one second. They played Seattle. And they played the Texans.
Yeah, so they'll get in a test, but that's the thing is that if the defense is probably going to come down if that offense doesn't start scoring points in that division. That's a recipe for not winning. Exactly. So they got to turn it around.
Yes, there we go. We got the 1-1 Broncos are Joey's most disappointing team. I've heard a lot about the coach on some of the radio stations. They call him Sack It Hackett. He's not gonna last. He's gonna get fired. But clearly, the most disappointing team in the NFL right now is the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati, how are you still living off last year's glory?
Yes, they are.
You went to the Super Bowl, you lost. Oh Lord, I gotta I'm sitting here watching myself here on my phone. I gotta turn it down, hear myself talking. All right. Anyway, so the Bengals. First, you blow week 1. The Godfather at home, yucking it up. You don't make an extra point at the end of the game. You play crappy the whole game. You come back, get a chance to win the game. You blow it. Your kicker, who always running his mouth, he blows it. Then everybody is talking about how you're gonna blow the Cowboys out, but everybody forgot that the Cowboys have a pretty good defense, and the Bengals can't block still, even though they upgraded their line. They can't block. Listen to this. The franchise quarterback who had an appendectomy surgery, right? He had an appendix taken out. He's been sacked already, I think 12 times.
He's on pace to be sacked 111 times.
He got sacked 7 times in week 1, 5 times in week 2. And this is not even the quarterback hits he's probably taking. If they get that many sacks, that means they're probably getting some hits in too. So, I mean, my goodness. And you still got all the weapons, right? You still got the weapons. You got Brian Hurst. You got Mixon. You got Jamar Chase. You got Higgins. But just like in some sports, in baseball, if your pitching is garbage, you're going to get blasted. You're going to lose. In football, if your O-line can't block,
you done.
You ain't going to win.
You done.
You're not going to win. It don't matter what the O-line is on paper. Can they block in the game? And the Bengals clearly are not blocking. They need to change that and change it quick, or it's going to be a long year.
But remember last year, they're kind of were built on that one big play 1 or 2 times. They don't seem to be hitting that this year, and a lot of that could be he just doesn't have time back there for that to develop.
You want to have a big play. You got to have time, and plus it's called scouting reports, right? You got 1 year. Okay, we know that they like to throw these passes to Jamar Chase, have big plays. I mean, NFL, they're gonna make adjustments.
Oh yeah, that's
right? Good coaches, right? The first 2 weeks they played 2 pretty decent defenses in the Steelers and the Cowboys.
Yes, they have.
Probably in the year those 2 teams will have top 10 defenses.
Yeah,
probably. So, but if they go into New York this weekend and lose to the Jets,
they could, JB.
It's a wrap. They're done. It's done. I'm going to go ahead and pay my brother and Chris their money I owe them for my pick in the Bengals. I'm going to lose this freaking NFL conference thing. I got the Bengals as my 3rd pick. It's going to be a wrap. So yeah, the Bengals clearly, and not to mention in one of my leagues, in all my leagues, I got in all my leagues, I got a top 5 QB. I either got Mahomes, I got Josh Allen, or I got Joey's friend and brother Justin Herbert.
Mm-hmm.
But in one league, I got Joe Burrow. I'm thinking, okay, Joe Burrow, you're gonna put in work. Garbage.
Not right now.
Yeah,
Garbage.
I got Burrow also in one of ours.
Not right now.
All right. So
I've got Burrow and Dak in
ooh.
our CJ squared league.
Ooh.
That is
Somebody, I'm surprised. Why didn't you bid to get Jimmy G?
well, I mean, at that point, I think I have Golf's been balling. So
Oh yeah.
and I would assume, like you said, they've played 2 hard defenses. And they started off slow last year. The Bengals did and started to turn it up. So I'm hoping that.
So you saying you got there's a chance.
There's a chance.
All right. Who is Yaks out? That Paladin?
Yes, it is.
He bid it $30 on Jimmy G.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
I know that because I bid it. I think I bid it 20. I didn't win that waiver, but that's all good. I still got my full slate of money just in case something happens. Something goes down. All right.
I asked Coop had Trey Lance, and I was like, "Oh, you got?" But he was like, "Well, I got." He didn't even start Trey Lance. He started Tua.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I know. Blowing up.
Like,
Yeah. He's feeling good this week, but
like,
is that gonna last?
Not me.
Is that gonna last though?
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to put up. He's definitely not going to put up 80. I mean, I think with that one thing is that those two guys are game breakers. They can make quarterbacks look good if they, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the one thing Miami right now, they ain't got a running game. Is it gonna come back and bite them in the butt? Right? They don't got no source of balance right now.
No, I mean, I think for a fantasy, that's good for fantasy, but for real football, that might not be great.
Yeah, detrimental to their success.
Yeah, for real.
You're gonna find this. They got Buffalo coming in town. Buffalo D nasty.
Whooping everybody's behind right now.
Yeah, I don't think Buffalo's gonna move the ball like they did against other teams. Miami kind of plays good D against them, but that Buffalo D is nasty. And they probably get old boy back too this week. Shavarius.
Looks like Buffalo in 1990.
The K gun.
That's what they look like.
Yeah, the K gun, boy.
Goodness. That's what
K gun. They could not beat the NFC East to save their life.
No, they could not.
They could not beat the NFC East to save their life. They lost to the Giants, the Skins, and the Cowboys twice. It's crazy, right?
4 great teams.
The NFC East put it on them every year. All right. So speaking of great teams, we got 2 of the teams that are expected to be pretty good this year, coming up with a big matchup. 2 of the best quarterbacks of all time, probably. Personally, I'm maybe on Brett Favre level of discussing this, but I had to throw it out there. This guy, man, I don't know. I don't even know how he even has a radio show right now. How do you let him be on the air? But this is America, so that's how it is.
Good old boy.
All right. All that you gonna take money from poor people's mouths to build a volleyball stadium, and it's all good. It's like it's okay. Yeah. And then if you let me steal $5 somewhere, I'm going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, not to get on that topic, but so we got a big matchup, right? So who you got this week on this game, Joe? Let me before you tell me, let me see what they got for the line on this game. Everybody they love the Vegas Sharks, so let's see what the Vegas Sharks got on the Bucks and Packers.
I'm seeing it -2 right now for Tampa Bay.
Right now, the Caesars line is -1 Tampa Bay.
Okay.
So Tampa Bay is a home favorite, but by a point. So Joey,
really a neutral field, they would say Green Bay's
it'd be Green Bay -2, right?
Okay.
Because normally they say always give the home team the automatic -3.
Yeah.
So who you got, Joey?
At the moment, I've got Green Bay. Green Bay has their issues, particularly on offense, as far as who's going to be the person that Aaron Rodgers is going to key on. That's the number one question. I think this may look like it's just going to be a team of everyone that Aaron Rodgers is just going to throw to. He's not going to concentrate. There's not going to be like a primary person that he's going to constantly go to. The only reason why I'm going Green Bay here is because I think most of the stress seems to be on Tampa. I don't like the fact in his entire career, you've always heard Tom Brady is sort of like the alpha guy. Nothing bothers him. He's got everything's going perfect for him. But Tom Brady's human, and Tom Brady has issues also. He's having marital issues apparently, which I don't mean to laugh at as a ha ha ha. I mean, it just shows that guy is human, and
Sure.
it may be a situation where he said that he was going to retire. I mean, when we all do things, those of us that are in relationships, I've been in a relationship with the same person for 22 years now, and when you do things, you should communicate that with your significant other,
especially large things.
Right. So he said that he was going to be going home, and there were stories last year about his wife Giselle saying that she was, concerned for his health, concerned for him taking beatings, and you definitely get that. He's been doing it for a long, long time. So I'm just wondering what that conversation was when he's like, you know what? I'm actually going to go back to work. I do wonder how she reacted to that. And I think we're sort of getting it now. I mean, I think that may be the reason why he had to take that time off during training camp to go home to get things right with his spouse. I mean, this is a team thing, and she's been riding with him for a long time also. So she was probably ready for him to be healthy, for him to be around. And now I guess I'm not going to say that he made a selfish decision, because he is a professional football player and he doesn't want to get to give it up, but she is a part of that team also. So I don't like the fact that is in his conscience, where he's sort of like the ultimate nothing bothers me. When it's a football game, I'm going in to kill the other team, bottom line. He's sort of tunnel vision. Nothing's going to bother him. He's just focused on the task. But now we know that he is human, and that there may be some other things that are bothering him mentally. So that's the reason why I'm giving Green Bay the edge at the moment. Luckily for them, I don't necessarily think that this is that big. This game doesn't necessarily mean that much right now. It's still very, very early. I think whoever loses this is going to still be in pretty good position to be successful as the year goes on. I think Green Bay is going to. I think we all think Green Bay is going to win the NFC North, and I think we all think that Tampa Bay is going to win the NFC South. So it's a good position for both of them that this game is happening now. I give the edge to Green Bay, but who cares?
All right, Chris, what you got? After that
I'll tell you what Giselle. I'll tell you what Giselle did do to Tom Brady. She sucked the fat out of his cheeks, because he's when he's coming out looking like.
That's what she did. Eat that ass.
You like you eating lemons all day.
Yeah, he's having a hard time, but I'll go Green Bay here just because I think outside of all of what Joey said, which I do think is kind of creeping in. I mean, I have him in a bunch of fantasies, and him and Tampa Bay just hasn't looked dominant. I mean, they've found a way to win, but they just haven't looked like what we kind of expected them to look over the last couple of years. So I mean, and do they have Evans? Is he suspended this week, or?
Yes, he gone. He gone. I mean, he gone.
You got Godwin hasn't been fully healthy.
They brought in Cole Beasley. Julio is doing Julio things.
Julio looked good in week 1, and then all of a sudden
didn't
game
play
day,
in week 2.
So now you've got your best weapon out. Gronk's gone, which has always been his guy. So I mean, Leonard Fournette played good in game 1, but I mean, I think the longer Green Bay has to kind of, I think, and like Joey said, it is good for Tampa to get Green Bay early, because I think Green Bay will get better as the season goes along and they start to figure out kind of what they are and what their offense needs to look like. I mean, Green Bay got smashed last year in game 1 and ended up being, really good. So, I mean, I think that
losing in the playoffs
and doing what they do. But yeah, I mean, I think that just watching them play, kind of going to Jones and Dillon and just kind of winning games rather than having to, like without Adams obviously is such a beast that I think Rodgers always felt the need to feed him. So I do think that, he's going to get more guys involved. Lazard, he scored a game, one the other night. I mean, I think he's going to get guys involved. Dillon looks like he's going to be more of an offensive than in the offense than he was last year. So I think as the season goes along, Green Bay is going to start to kind of evolve and going to figure out their offense. Tampa Bay just kind of looks like a mess right now, and he just doesn't have playmakers. And Tom Brady is not a guy necessarily that can just go out and win without anybody around him. So I do think that stuff is creeping in. I think he's such a professional. He may be able to kind of shut that out. But if you just don't have any weapons, I mean, who's his number one guy? Is going to be Gage, maybe, if those other 3 don't play.
Gage, Perry, Brashad Perryman. They brought in Cole Beasley.
Beasley will come in, but I mean, he's, that's going to be, he hasn't played with him at all. So, you're going to have to lean on Fournette. But I mean, Green Bay's defensively is good. So, I don't think that they're just going to be able to, it'll be interesting to kind of see. It's an over under is 42. So it's not really a game that's going to score. They're calling a score a lot. So I'm going to take Green Bay in an ugly one and just assume that the kind of the defense is just kind of dominate the games. I mean, we're still talking about 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So, you wouldn't be surprised if one of them just lights it up just because, they're both capable.
Right.
But just, it looks like kind of a messy game right now. And, we'll see. But it should be interesting just to see kind of, because these are 2 teams that where did JB? I picked Green Bay really high. Where did Tampa Bay go? Did I have Tampa Bay? Who has Tampa Bay?
Oh, Joey took Tampa Bay with his second pick.
Yeah, so obviously this is 2 teams that we all put, at least in our top 10 teams. You know what I mean? So, and neither of them really look like the dominant teams, that we kind of predict. But it is early, so. But yeah, I'm going to go Green Bay as well. JB, you going Tampa?
Tampa's at home, but I don't like neither one of these teams really right now. Green Bay, looking at Aaron Rodgers' stats, it looks like crap. It is anybody else in the league, they'd be like, he's garbage, he stinks. Why is he starting? Dude, 2 games, he has 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception, 7 sacks. Right? And his completions are high. He's spreading the ball out. I'm good at receptions. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys who have either 6 or 5 catches. And the top guy came back, had 2 catches for 13 yards and a touchdown. I think last game it was more about Aaron Jones, and the first game Aaron Jones didn't get no touches. It was the AJ Dillon show. So, but like you said, Green Bay will probably they'll probably find their groove. Tampa right now, I don't know what's going on. The defense is playing okay. They played Dallas, who obviously in game 1 they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah, they didn't look good.
Then they played New Orleans, who didn't have Alvin Kamara.
Right.
So Tampa got to play Green Bay, who's going to have their weapons. Maybe run the ball. Aaron Rodgers spread the ball around. I think, like Chris said, I think it's gonna be an ugly one, but I think Green Bay is probably gonna win, probably by a field goal or something like that. Max Crosby field goal, because they both, and maybe a shootout. You never know, but I doubt it because because Tampa Bay really doesn't have the weapons right now. But you know what happens. Green Bay normally give it up to Tampa Bay, like it did in the NFC Championship game, giving up long bombs at the end of the first half to Scotty Miller. And he's playing. So yeah. So yeah, there you go. We all got Green Bay on this one.
Tampa is
actually some
phone call.
I mean,
being right.
The TV games this week, you've got the Monday, the NBC game is San Francisco Denver. That's a good one.
Huge game.
And then Dallas Giants.
That's
an important game on Monday night.
Snooze fest for Sunday night. That's a snooze fest.
And then you got
the best thing is you got Shanahan going back, right? Because his dad comes to Denver, right?
Yeah.
And they come into town. You got Russell going against one of his nemesis in the 49ers. And they licking their lips. We see Russell Wilson again. They like, You got.
Well, I will say that the storylines might end up being better than the games in all of these games.
Yeah.
You could get duds in the Dallas Giants game.
Giants Cowboys, that's gonna be a dud. I'll tell you what. Daniel Jones good for one pick and at least one fumble. Michael Parsons gonna be on him like crap on a cracker.
Yeah, so the storylines might be good, but the games might end up just kind of flaking out. Yeah. So,
but the Cowboys game is they're all big games, right? Coach start of the year, but the Cowboys Giants 2-0, Cowboys 1-1, big game, bigger game for the Cowboys than the Giants. So should be interesting. Giants favorite right now. Giants getting it's a pickup on a neutral field, but the Giants, I believe, have the 3-point spread going on right now. Let me see what it's looking at right now.
Nobody wants Philly right now. I'll tell you that. Nobody.
I mean, but it's early in the season, man. And you remember, like with Philly, they are putting up, and they look good. They look real good. Oh, now that line, the line went down. The confidence in the Giants is starting to sway. They got the Giants -1. Now it was -3 on the other day.
That's too much.
But with Philly, a lot of teams started the season looking real good, right? But with Philly, I'm gonna say this: they're in the division. They probably playing the Commanders. The Commanders' defense should be better. They don't have Chase Young back. But they do play in a division where the Giants and Cowboys defenses are not slouch defenses.
They are.
So when they play against the Giants and the Cowboys, I don't think they're gonna be putting up video game crap.
Hurts, it historically has been like he's been in the league for 10 years. He has not played well against the Giants at all.
Or the Cowboys.
He's been awful against the Giants.
Yeah, and the Cowboys. So I mean, he has a chance to. He's looking good. He's looking good. He look real good.
Yeah, but are they similar to? They could be similar to last year's Cardinals, where
could be.
I mean, you remember then they started off really good.
Yeah, they were rolling, right? Yeah, the
Kyler Murray was killing it, and then they ended up fading. So
they look good. It looked good. It looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, they look good. Everybody, they the darling of the NFL right now. Everybody loving them.
They are.
Right? They blew the Vikings out. I don't know what the Vikings had no game plan the other night. I don't know what they were doing. Like, every Eagles was getting chunk plays, man. Every play, chunk play, like it was a college game.
Yes, they were.
15-yard completions every day I'm going to play.
Yeah, but that's what Hurts wants to do. Like Kyler Murray, those are in like Lamar Jackson, the guys who can run. They want to be able to not have it where.
Yeah, but see, when you play against some teams, like I tell you what, like here's the thing. All running quarterbacks are put on notice against the Cowboys because you can't outrun Michael Parsons.
You can't.
You're not going to outrun that guy.
You're not.
You better hope if he don't get blocked, you're not outrunning him. It's a wrap.
You better chip him. You better chip him.
And that's why the really truly like the elite running guys, Jackson, those three guys, it's not, they've had success in the regular season, but that it doesn't transition yet to playoff success because teams take away that and then they force you to be something else.
They force you to be something else. Like, I mean, because right now, the way Philly's playing, getting chunk plays, pretty soon defense is gonna start shrinking that down.
Yeah.
He gonna have to be more accurate. He got to put stuff in more, do stuff in space. But right then looking good. They beat up on the Vikings. They let the Lions come back. That's a big game. Lions and the Vikings is a big game this weekend. Because
Is mic go out?
JB,
your mic out.
Say something. Say something.
Something.
Yeah, you got it. There he goes. Yeah, just all of a sudden cut out.
It says my internet is a little bit unstable right now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh man, unstable. What do you?
Yeah, I got the Ethernet. Got the Ethernet cord on. I think. Never mind. We're good. We're good.
All right.
I'm back. I'm back. So yeah. So Vikings Lions could be a big game. Should be a good weekend for fantasy as well. So we'll see, right? We'll see. Speaking of fantasy, before we go on to baseball really quick, Joey, record in fantasy last week.
My record in fantasy last week, I was below 500.
Again?
Bad week.
Again. All right, Chris.
Ditto Joey. Bad week again. Really bad.
Oh my goodness. I once again I would have gone 5-2. But against Chris in the Friends and Family League, I started Paris Campbell and I paid the price for it.
Well, I had Jalen Hurts, and I keep in the NFL, your NFL league. I keep running into guys just outscoring just high scores. The first week I had, I'm right there as far as my team's not bad, so I don't really care as long as my team looks like they can score. I'm good. I'm all right.
Yeah, I was in 4 leagues where I started a guy who gave me a 0.
Oh,
I mean, 3 of them I had Paris Campbell 0, and I've started Kenny. I started the Drake in 1 league, and he gave me a 0. Okay. I hate the Drake. FYI, if you watch Seinfeld, you know what that means. I hate the Drake. So I went 4-3. So hopefully I can build upon that this week. But anyway, on to baseball. Like you said, baseball. We right now, Chris and Joey are battling it out to make it to the finals. Chris always if Chris is in in a lower seed, that's when he's really dangerous. Higher seed. He gonna crap out. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
If he's a 1 seed or a 2 seed, it's a
that's true.
He losing.
Yeah,
guaranteed. But that dude like a 6 seed, 7, 8 seed.
You don't want to see
dangerous. That dude dangerous, man. He's dangerous.
I'm actually. I had Torres tonight went off with me for 2 homers and like 5 RBI. So I jumped. I was losing to Joey. I jumped ahead with a couple pickups.
Boy, you are what we call a damn problem. and look, I pulled the okie doke on I Am the Wiener. Right before I got on the show, I picked up Snell from San Diego. Dude got 10 Ks already.
Oh, he's killing it. He's killing it.
Through 5 innings.
How is he available?
Yeah, really.
So, because somebody probably dropped him. Probably your freaking stepdad probably dropped him last week trying to pull the okie doke on me. But he was available. So guess what?
They come up.
JB reeled him in. Come on over here.
They come up.
Right before the game started, but it's early in the week, right? We had Wednesday, still got a couple more days left. Yeah, this dude got Aaron, he has Trout, he got Freeman, and he has the guy I'm about to talk about now. I tell you, man, I'm getting really good at these segues, man. I'm really
nice.
Y'all don't understand what I'm doing right now. These segues are popping.
Yeah, they are.
Right? Because right now, we're talking about Aaron Judd, right? Aaron Judd we should be talking about Albert Pujols too, by the way. Aaron Judd is chasing history. I think he tied Babe Ruth.
He's
right now.
Yeah, tied, and now he's chasing
Maris. He's chasing
Maris for the most home runs in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
So how big a deal do you think it is, this record he's chasing? I start with you first, Chris. I'll let Joey, because that's his man's finish, give his opinion last.
I know Joey's going to say the bigger thing is that they need to lock him up for a long-term deal. But I mean, right now, anytime baseball outside, I mean, obviously we know when it comes to kind of the October playoff months, they're going to be. But I mean, this is when football starts, it's headlines all the time. So if the fact that baseball is in the month of September is getting the headlines, that is competing and competing and getting people's eyes watching the game, that is huge for baseball. And Judge, even though I'm a Red Sox fan, Judge is a likable guy, and baseball just needs these type of guys. You know what I mean? Guys that, people want to watch and that they can root for. You know what I mean? I mean, Bonds, as great as he was, as many people as I know like him, probably more people disliked him because of just kind of how he was. So Judge is like, Caitlin, my sister, isn't really a sports fan, but she was rooting for Judge like years ago when he was like in the home run derby. I mean, he's just that kind of guy. I mean, he's kind of a comic book type of character. He's like 6'8", like just a big dude. I mean, yeah. So it's like, I think for baseball, just the fact that they're in the storylines competing with, our main sport in college and pro football, so I think it's huge. And yeah, I mean, and the fact is that, the other two guys that he was ahead, that are ahead of him were the Yankees. And now, I mean, he's going against that American League record. And some could argue that this is the true record because, with all the steroid stuff, that those could be tainted. So some could be looking at this as this is the true record. So, it's a big deal to be able to hit this many. And this is the thing. The crazy thing is that everyone was talking about this year, home runs were going to be down. They were going to change the ball back. The offensive numbers and at the start of the year, offensive numbers were down. And even really overall, the big thing with Judge is you always knew if he could stay healthy for a full year. And we talked about, his fantasy, why he was getting drafted so low is because he's just never been able to stay healthy enough to be able to, have this kind of dominant year. And he's come out and just been on fire. He's going for the Triple Crown. So yeah, I mean, really good for baseball just to be able to compete. And, I mean, I like to see greatness. So I would love to be able to see, the guy come out and go ahead and beat it.
He's definitely going to get the American League Triple Crown. If MLB Triple Crown is going to be hard because Freddie Freeman and Schmitty from St. Louis, they a little ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's still an incredible year, and this is when they try to go away from changing the ball to being less offensive based and trying to bring it back down to earth a little bit. And he's come out and just like in the last couple of weeks, he's been on fire. So
yes, he has.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, I'm all for seeing greatness and just seeing, guys come out and just do crazy things. And he's doing it right now. So good luck to him.
Yeah.
He's a Boston fan too.
that definitely means something. This guy is having an unreal season. He is the last person to have an on-base percentage of 400s and have a slugging percentage of 700s was the greatest ball player who ever lived, Barry Lamar Bonds, in 2004. It's the last time someone has actually
done that man whole government.
The greatest ball player who ever lived. He is on pace They said I read a crazy stat. He's right now only the 43rd player in baseball history, not counting Negro League players, to have 120 runs and 120 RBIs, 360 total bases, and 80 extra base hits. He's only 43 players have ever done that in baseball history. That is a crazy number. And one other special thing with this is Chris's thing. He bet on his own freaking self. He turned down $200 million, and which was the best thing that he ever did. Because now he's going to get an extra 150 million on top of that 200 million, and he is worth every bit of it. But I don't know if he is the most valuable player. I don't know that.
Yeah, it's they say what it's Shitani, right? It's your boy.
I mean, look at the guy's pitching numbers to go along with his offensive numbers.
Yeah, but one team is out of the playoffs.
True.
I mean, Ohtani cannot win it every year based on just the fact that he can do that.
I agree.
That's ridiculous.
It's like your boy Trout. I mean, your boy Trout, like you said, one of the best players. They can't make it to
if you can't make it in, I mean, you have to be, because Ohtani then, just because he's going to be able to do that, it's impressive. But I mean, you got to up the game. It's like, what's his name? People were yelling about Jokic. If you win back to back, you got to do something. Unfortunately, they don't take it just by season. You take it as a whole and you compare them to what they are. That's unfortunate, but it just is how it is.
Right.
So I think Ohtani, it's impressive what he's doing. No one's going to take away from that. But he's not necessarily better by a margin better than last year, and it's right to make the playoffs. So
there's only one other person that's got 40 home runs, and he's got a 20 home run lead over him.
That's absurd.
That's your boy, right? That's your boy.
Wow.
20 lead over him. He's got a 20 run. He's got 20 more runs than the next person, the next closest person. Pete Alonso, the polar bear, is only 7 RBIs behind him. But I mean, this guy, this is an all-time great season that he is putting up. All-time great season. So
so now you're going to penalize him basically just because he doesn't pitch,
right?
I mean, come on,
right?
So
absolutely, this is an amazing season, and he will be breaking it soon.
Yeah, well, here you go.
The AL record. He won't be the single season home run record. That Barry Bonds has got that. I'm sorry.
How many is that? 73. How many is that?
73.
Yes.
Oh,
he's got to hit 73. He knows that too. He even said it. He knows that too.
Yeah, well,
he's got to heat up like crazy.
Yes. All right. Before we move on to this next topic, though, what do you guys think? You think Albert Pujols is going to get 700 before the end of the season?
Yes.
I hope so. I mean, he's another guy who's a likable guy that people root for. I would like to see him. I mean, the problem is, and we talked about before, is he doesn't play every night. He plays against certain pitchers. I mean, at this point, I might as well, you just let him play. You know what I mean? Like, just get him in there and just try to do it, because that's, for baseball being such an historical sport, probably the most historical sport, and we're seeing historical type of numbers being broken here. You got to let him just go for it, and then, you know what I mean? But I mean, I think it'll put, as much as Pujols has done for the game of baseball and for that city, I think you got to let him.
Not catching them. Milwaukee will not catch them. Let him.
So, funny story about that before we move on. I went to St. Louis to see the Braves play the Cardinals, and I think at the time, Pujols had like 693 or something like that. He wasn't close to 700 yet. He go hot rod. Oh man, we're gonna see Pujols break the record. He'll get 700. Like what? You ain't getting no 7 home runs.
Unless he's on a run like Judge is on. I mean,
over a 3-game series.
He's on fire.
I was like, what? Like, this not gonna happen, Hot. Just simmer down, bro. Simmer down.
You're like, that was a statement.
Yeah, I was like, man, simmer down, bro. All right, so college football. We already showed y'all how we're doing in our conferences, and every week we do our college picks. And we make bets on this college football thing. But here is a hot rumor about prime time. So prime time is one of the reasons why I am an Atlanta Braves fan. Mm-hmm. At one point, Prime played for the Richmond Braves, right? And you know, one of the Braves, what do they call it? Affiliates, or what they farm teams, basically.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah, sort of like the Gwinnett team that gave them Grissom and Strider and Harris this year, right? Just feeding them, man. All those guys came from that same team. Strider, Grissom, Harris. Harris is probably going to be the NL Rookie of the Year, right? Or Strider, because Strider's had a good year too.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It's either going to be one of those two. Those two guys are going to win the Rookie of the Year for the NL. But Prime Time played for the Richmond Braves, so that's what I saw liking the Braves back in the day. But Prime Time now is a coach at Jackson State, and his son is a quarterback at Jackson State. But Prime Time is rumored to be going to a Power 5 school, ACC, Big Ten, SEC, Pac-12, and the Big 12. And pretty soon it's going to be a different conference because we got Texas and Oklahoma moving to the SEC. Big Ten, I think USC is moving there, but UCLA may not because the governor is like, hold on now. So yeah, bro, we ain't trying. You in a private school, you a state school. So we don't know if you going there yet, right? So where do you think Prime Time? Should he stay in Jackson State, or should he make that jump and test the waters of a Power 5 school? I'll start with you first, Chris. No, Joey. You first. Because Chris, you did the other question first.
I got you.
Chris and JB, millions. I hope Prime stays. The reason why I hope Prime Time stays at Jackson State is because he has. Number one, he is competing with the Power 5 conferences when it comes to recruiting, because I just think that, number one, there's some sort of culture that Deion Sanders brings that I think is highly attractive to kids that are wanting to play college football. They believe in him. He's got a great culture. He's helping them grow to become men, especially for the ones that are. He's older. There's a lot.
He's a molder.
Most of them are not going to be playing on Sundays. Maybe they'll play in some semi-pro league, but he's molding these kids to become successful men when they're done playing college football. The culture seems to be it's very attractive to a lot of kids. I mean, I'm not sure if you all saw, there was a clip that they showed before their very first game. Primetime was on the sideline. It came out and Travis Hunter came up to him. They were talking, having a little chit chat. Who knows what they were talking about? Then Prime starts walking to go somewhere else. Travis Hunter pulled him back and hugged him and was just crying. I don't know what that was about, but I mean, of course, we don't see as much of what's happening. You know, the relationships that Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, any of those guys have with their players. But watching the reaction of Travis Hunter about to play his very first college game, and to be hugging arguably one of the greatest football players of all time, and he's not even acting. A lot of people wouldn't even know that Deion is one of the greatest football players who ever lived. He just seems like he's just a really good coach. this is a really good mentor, really good guy. So knowing the history of HBCU football, knowing that Black kids were kept out of the college game, and then they're like, okay, well, we're just going to do our own thing, and they had the better programs in the 1960s, and then the white schools, Alabama's like, okay, we need to start to do something because the better players are in these HBCUs. If we want to see our program progress, then we need to go get the Black kids to come to us, which destroyed HBCU sports, HBCU football, from being the best college football in America to being something that we don't really pay that much attention to. So just to know that Deion is bringing the attention to the lack of equity that we still see as far as college football goes. I hope that he stays there and continues to just fight and continues to just be the mentor that a lot of these kids need. It's wonderful to watch, and just watching that clip with this kid, the number one recruit in the entire country, decides to go play for a guy, which I think makes sense, a guy that played his position, the greatest who ever played the position, arguably. It's just wonderful seeing. I love seeing the mentorship coming out. A lot of clips, JB, that comes from the locker room where Deion is fussing about the players being on their freaking cell phone. It's like, what are you doing on your cell phone right now? That is so important to what you should really be doing right now, which is getting ready for the next game. Get off of your freaking cell phones. Love it. I love Deion Sanders. He's the reason why my favorite number is 21. He is the reason why. So hopefully he does stay right where he is. It's gonna be hard to keep him there. Money talks. I definitely know that. I think Prime has plenty of it, but there's nothing wrong with getting plenty more.
Yeah, for me, I'm torn. A lot of great reasons of what Joey said, and I'm just torn as to kind of where his motivation is, and also in what area, if he goes to a Power 5 or if he stays there, which can make the biggest impact on as a big picture kind of a whole for him. I mean, we, like Joey said, the historically Black colleges, they've been an afterthought for years, and so now all of a sudden you get the Travis Hunters and all these other kids wanting to go there, and that's just shining light on those schools, which is amazing. I think that's to be able to do that, and it probably took a Deion for, and you're seeing these schools on. I remember watching the one of the either the Under Armour or one of those type of games, and there was a couple. They were having those schools, Jackson State and some of the other ones, on their list that, like, 5 years ago, no chance that those guys, and it's come at the right time. Obviously, with the NIL helps, because now it does in some levels level
TikTok all the time with Jackson State.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's now he's kind of brought it in as an in thing to be able to do, and in the way society is right now, to be able to have those type of schools compete and be on. Watching them on ESPN and not just being like on ESPNU and no one's paying attention. I mean, that's huge. On the other hand, it's like, well, you got all these Black kids at these massive schools, and now the NIL has kind of changed things where these kids are making money. But at the end of the day, who's running them is old white men, right? Who they're still the main power in those things. Can he make more of an impact if he goes to one of those huge schools where we rarely see a Black man in power that really can resonate? I mean, Nick Saban is a great coach, but there's definitely a divide between him and the players. I mean, he's going to be more of the stern parent type, but he's not going to relate as a player's coach the way Deion is.
Right.
So if all of a sudden, he kind of, instead of doing the Mark Few where he builds a program, it's going to take 15, 20 years to be able to do what Mark Few did and make Gonzaga into a national power.
National power, yeah.
Where if he does it here, can he make an impact quicker? Where, if you bring Dion into a school like Auburn, oh my gosh, what Auburn, the turnaround and what he can bring to Auburn.
Absolutely.
How about bringing him to Florida State? Can
or
you imagine?
Florida State or one of those schools like that. He's the ultimate players coach, right? You've heard like, oh, Lane Kiffin's a players coach.
Mm-hmm.
None of those guys are touching Dion as far as a players coach.
Lane Kiffin is definitely a players coach. That's Joey's boy, Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, he's able to do it, but not, you rarely see all those young guys would be loving Dion. You know what I mean? So, I think that I think he has to decide which way he wants to make his impact and which way, because, like Joey said, money does talk, but I think Dion's motivation, if he wants to make more money, he can go find money because it's Dion. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think that's going to be his number one thing. I think that he's got to decide, where can I have the most impact? Do I want it here at Jackson State and go down that route, but it may take a little bit longer? Or do I want it maybe at a Power 5 and figure it out? And I'm torn between the two because I do think I hope he stays in college football because I think that needs it more than like the professionals where he tries to kind of just be an assistant and work his way up. I think he'll have more impact than the younger generation where he's, where I think he can kind of resonate more with those kids. So
yes,
to me, I think Power 5 probably does have a little bit more impact, but I would love to see, I like to, when guys stay at programs and build them up instead of always just kind of losing, just as like VCU's always guys, everyone's always just a platform to the next job. It'd be sweet for him to stay at Jackson State. So,
yeah. So I'm kind of in between both of y'all. I look at it like this. He is making a great impact at Jackson State. Right, leading young men and being a good role model and preparing them. But at a Power 5 school, he could do the same thing. And instead of a small portion of his kids, or maybe one or two of his kids, being able to take that and move on to the next level and to make money in NFL and share it and share their knowledge and their growth and kind of push it forward. At a Power 5 school, his impact will be so much greater in terms of just helping people get to the next level.
Right.
He's not going to, even with his player coaching, his demeanor and him being a player coach, he'll get the occasional Travis Hunter, right? Is his name? He'll get the occasional Travis Hunter, but at a Power 5 school, he'll get. Maybe not not Travis Hunter every time, but he'll get players to that level on a regular basis, right? That he can help and propel to the next level. So it's kind of, pretty much like, I like what Chris said. If he stays in the college game, he is going to make a good impact on the game and the players. So either which, I would love to see him coach Power 5 so we can get his commentary before games and after games. Like right now, we get some Deion Sanders commentary, but we don't get like the Jimbo Fisher and the Nick Saban type stuff and Dabo. I want that kind of stuff. I want the after the in game and we're hearing him talk and say stuff. So yeah, it's with him staying in football and being a coach is good for the game. Pretty much, he's prime time. He's prime. Primed.
Yeah, he's definitely a walking quote all the time.
Yes, exactly. And you get more of those quotes if he was at a Power 5 school.
Yeah.
Look at we could do a soundbite show and do our whole show based on some of these coaches, some of our favorite coaches' sound bites. Right. Right. What was the one from the mullet? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm a man.
Not a kid. I'm a man.
Oh, that was hilarious.
40.
I got a mullet. I'm a man, okay?
I'm a man.
So, stuff like that, man. Like Jimbo talking that trash this year. Talking that trash about the ID. What is it? I'm having a brain fart. What is it called? It's the NIL, my bad. NIL. And he's like, oh, he's talking about how we pay for all our players. We do something about the book down here in Texas A&M. I know how they do it over there.
That's
Jimbo. I don't know how he gonna talk about me like that in my program. And, oh my God, man.
Jimbo's not happy. Easy, Jimbo. Easy. Nick Saban's playing mind games with you.
Simmer down.
Playing mind games with you.
Pump the brakes, Jimbo.
Absolutely.
Pump them. Pump the brakes.
Absolutely.
Right. So it is time for our college picks.
Buttons ready, JB.
The buttons are ready. Okay, let me go ahead and send our man's Buttons this link, and we're gonna get this thing started with these picks, man. I know Joey is itching to get his picks in. He spent all day researching, coming up with a master plan for his
ready to roll
for his picks. And I've been busy all day. I came home, took a nap, started doing my picks right before the show. Like, okay, what am I going to do this time? What am I doing this? What am I doing this week? I've been thinking about it, but what am I doing this week? All right, let me hit up. I
was working on some of these picks during my 7th block warm up.
I'm sure you were, man.
Crazy class.
I'm sure you were. We're not gonna talk about your class because we talk about X-Men then, if you get my drift.
You were right about that. All over. Mutant there.
Because Charles Xavier just walking through that door. Oh my God, man. Yeah, man. He's
mutants.
I like the fact working as a teacher, man. Some of the funniest things is when kids know they're wrong, but they just try to come up with a reason why they could possibly be right. You're like, no.
Trump-like.
I'm going to class. But you've been in the hallway now for 10 minutes, so obviously you're not going to class. Correct. Let's get them legs pumping.
Oh my God. Yes. Buttons knows it too. Buttons. Look at Buttons. He got his Blue Jays. Are they making the playoffs, Buttons?
They got to represent.
They are going to make the playoffs.
They are making the playoffs right now. They're the first seed, right? Or the first wild card, right?
Being so clean shaven, Buttons, you're looking like a New York Yankee instead of a Blue Jay. Right? You're looking more like a Yankee than a Blue Jay right now. You got no facial hair,
Clean shaved today.
Clean though, Buttons.
Real clean.
Like you've been eating good.
So fresh, so clean. Yeah.
Got your Blue Jays jersey on. I'm gonna come home with my Braves jersey next week. Then that's around. All right. So Buttons is here to join us again for week 4. Buttons already shouted you out. Congratulations! You still are holding the lead in the college picks. You got a 1-game lead on CB and a 2-game lead on me. So we're gonna see if we can catch you. And Buttons this week did the bonus game. Of course, he picked his boys, the Orange, against the Cavaliers of UVA, who just beat who didn't beat up on ODU. They barely beat ODU. Oh my God! But you were right. That was a non-offensive game. It was offensive, but not in the terms of offense being scored. It was definitely offensive. All right, to watch. I watched some of it on TV. I was like, what in the heck is going on? Yeah, Chris, I see Chris with his research. Buttons is ready. He got his thing. Buttons, like I said, Buttons, saw your email. I didn't open it because I want to hear it.
Right.
This is how I'm doing it now. I want to hear it for the first time and be surprised when you talk about it, because as this is one of the favorite parts of the show, besides of course Joy's hot take and And of course, just me being here is a good part too. But anyway, so
I did the Mountain View James Monroe game last week, and a future Orange football player, Ike Daniels, running back for Mountain View, did commit to Syracuse.
Ooh.
And during the middle of the game, he was back for a punt return that he was actually about to take to the crib. And I was like, hey, Ike, just interested. I know that you're going to Syracuse. You do know who the greatest running back in Syracuse history is, right? He was like, oh yeah, Walter Payton. Like,
is that what you said? Oh my God.
Come on, man.
He's like, no, Gary Payton.
Gary Payton. He said Gary Payton.
Gary Payton.
Gary Payton.
The glove.
Hey, give me your football card, man. Give it to me.
The correct answer. Now, however, I do have Mountain View versus Massaphonics on Friday. So when he's back for the punt return, I will ask him again, who is the greatest running back in Syracuse history? So hopefully he gives me the proper answer.
Tell him if he want that NIL money, he better have the right answer. Because if not, Bun's gonna cut him off. Buttons. Just so you know, Buttons, there's a guy on your Syracuse football team from Woodbridge, Umari Hatcher. He's a 6'3" receiver, played at Freedom, who is one of my former students from Graham Park.
Oh, heck yeah.
His sister is if she sticks to it, she will be running at D1 somewhere in college where running track.
Okay.
But yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember talking to his mom, and it was mom. Mom came in, I never forget. Oh, Mari's running track. He was seen all nice. He was crazy. He's one of them kids, man. But he was awesome at Woodbridge. But he's 6'3". I looked him up, 6'3", 181 pounds.
When did he graduate?
Wide receiver, huh?
When did he graduate?
Oh, he's a freshman, so must have been last year before last.
He was on. Oh, gotcha.
Hatcher, yep.
I have to look him up.
Yeah, went to Graham Park, by the way. Okay. Yep. Played football there. He was going to run track, but unfortunately, he was not eligible at doing track season. Joey know how it works, how that works.
Yes, I do.
So yeah, anyway.
Yes, I do.
Moving on. Let's talk about our college picks of the week. Our first game of the week is one of it seems like I have a lot of these. I think I have an infatuation with the Big 12. I don't know. It just seems like it. I just love picking these Big 12 games. So the first game we got Iowa and Baylor. Iowa State and Baylor. Iowa State is a favorite. Baylor is ranked. Iowa State is not. This is the second time Baylor is playing a unranked team on the road and not being favored, even though they are ranked higher. But I'm still going with the Bears here. I think they're going to start pulling it together. Joey, who you got?
I'll take the Bears also. They are really mad. They're really mad.
Give me Iowa State. I do like Baylor, but
I saw your face. I knew it.
They're mad, Chris. They're mad.
I like Baylor. I always pull Baylor, but I'm trying to.
They're mad. Go ahead, Bud. What you got?
I'm telling you, we are starting the show off really strong tonight, because to me, this was one of the toughest ones on the card to pick. I think Baylor plays great defense here, keeps it close. They probably are going to win it. I'm going Bears.
There you go, Buds. All right. Here we go, Buds. We got Clemson at Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a 7-point underdog at home. Who you got?
Man, when I thought it couldn't get any tougher, you throw this game at me too.
This is a tough one.
I'm telling you, dude, Wake currently is putting up 42 points a game this season at home. They keep it close. Demon Deacons.
All right. Demon Deacons. Wake Forest has one of the lowest enrollments of any Power 5 school. I mean, their population of students is probably like maybe 8, maybe 5. So it's a ridiculously no number. My school has like 3 times the number of students that Wake Forest has at ODU.
Right.
Right. Okay. Chris.
Yeah, I think I'm going Clemson here. I think that Wake didn't cover last week, did they?
Yeah, they didn't close. They almost lost.
Yeah, so I think that this is a big step up for Wake. I think Clemson kind of I mean, defensively they were great last year. Offensively, they weren't as good, but I still feel like Clemson's in a class of their own in the ACC right now. So I'd like to see Wake stay close, but I still think Clemson.
Clemson's mad. Clemson's still mad.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm Joy. I didn't mean to cut you off. What did you say, Chris?
I went Clemson.
Okay. I want to tell you the guy I picked up. He has a no-hitter going in the top of the seventh. The guy I picked up.
Oh God.
And that's against.
Of course he does.
That's against.
Against St. Louis.
And they hit. Is it lefties? I think Snell's a lefty, right?
Yes, he is.
He's like 6 innings pitched, no hits, no earned runs, 11 Ks.
He's mad too.
Yeah, he's mad. Okay.
Mad.
He's mad that he got dropped by somebody and let me pick him up in the middle of the night. Joey, who you got here?
JB, I will also be going Clemson. Clemson is on this Mad Tour 2022 to prove that they are still the top of the food chain when it comes to college football. This is not going to be close.
Okay. I'm sort of with Buttons. I don't think that Clemson is going to blow them out. I think Wake will keep it within a touchdown or less. I think Clemson will come out on top because their defense is a lot better. Wake hasn't faced a defense like this, but Clemson has its struggles they have struggles. Like DJ has not really played up to the potential that we thought he was going to play when he first came out with Trevor Lawrence. So I'm gonna go Wake and the points. I think Wake will keep it close enough to cover. So I'm with Buttons here. All right. TCU, SMU, a battle for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you didn't know what these schools are, they're in that Dallas-Fort Worth area. So, another strikeout. There you go. Let's see. For me, I'm going to go ahead and take that Pony Express at home with them points, giving them 2 points at home. I think SMU is going to pull it out. I think they had a tough loss at Maryland. And going to represent. All right, Joey, who you got?
I will join you. I will take SMU with the points. Apparently, the special pregame coin toss will take place between Eric Dickerson and LT.
Is that true?
Ooh.
No, it is not.
So LT is not walking through that door. You forgot Craig James, man.
Craig James, he ain't walking that door either. He's
not even Cortland Sutton. All right, Chris, who you got?
Yeah, I'm not usually a trends guy, but I did see road teams 7-0 in their last 7 meetings. Yeah, I'm usually don't go on the trends, but that's a big trend there. So we'll see if it continues.
There you go. Let's get it. Okay. All right.
Buttons.
These I'm telling you, these first 3 have been probably some of the toughest ones we've had all year. I think for me, just personally, the tiebreaker comes down to the quarterbacks. Max Duggan versus Tanner Mordecai. Now, how could I ever go against a guy whose name is Mordecai? Mustangs.
All right, here we go. We got the battle of the blue bloods.
Absolutely.
Here. College basketball Final Four teams on a regular basis. Buttons. We got Duke. We got Kansas. We got Krzyzewski. We got Manning. We got Larry Brown. We got all the guys. We got Shane Battier. We got anybody you think of gonna be out there.
All be there.
They're all gonna be there. Joel Embiid making faces out there.
Ray LaFrance will be there.
I tell you one thing I will
just broke up the no hitter. He got a single.
Oh jeez.
About this matchup, one thing I will say, bet the over. These teams can score.
Yeah.
Duke is 4-1 against the spread in its last 5 against the Big 12. Give me the Blue Devils.
Devils, Buttons, and I actually bet your lock of the week and hit on it last week.
Money.
There you go.
So
Stacks.
There you go.
I want you to keep
all about
sending out that
stacking,
lock
bud.
of that
All
week.
about stacking.
Always send out the lock of the week to JB.
Then give me that lock of the week. As long as it's not CB, I take it. CB will tell you after the fact I'm cold, JB, but after the fact. All right. All right, Chris.
Speaking of JB's bets, the team that killed him last week was a team I had in Houston. Who beat Houston? Kansas whooped up on them. Kirk Heinrich's probably going to be there.
He will be there.
Give me Kansas. Give me Kansas and Rex Walters.
Oh.
Hey, Buttons. Houston cost me like $400 last week.
Jeez, man.
I had like 2 7-game parlays perfect, except for Houston.
Wow.
Adonis Jordan will be.
I was thinking of Jordan.
Give me Kansas.
Kansas. Me, listen, I'm taking Corey Maggette, Elton Brand. Give me Corey Maggette, Elton Brand. Give me Dunleavy.
Oh,
Right. Give me all those guys.
Amateur.
Give me Johnny Dawkins.
Oh.
Give me all these guys, right?
How about William Avery?
Matt Al, what's that guy? Jay Billis. Give me all those
Jay
guys.
Billis.
They're gonna all be on the sidelines. The Duke players move to the sidelines. They're gonna point to them like this. They're gonna lose, but they still are gonna cover.
How about your boy Greg Paulus? Where's he at?
That's Buttons,
yeah,
man.
the guy that played point guard at Duke and QB at Syracuse. I remember that.
Yeah, where's
That
he
is
at?
Buttons, man.
Yeah, it is.
Man's all right. So we got Texas Tech and Texas. Both these teams, those games with those guys last week got crapped out on. Texas destroyed UT. They destroyed UTSA, but it was closer than the score said because of the late game pick 6 and some other stuff that happened. Bijan Robinson ran wild.
Buttons, man.
Bijan Robinson next year will be a first round fantasy pick.
Buttons and JB's, man.
Your draft. I'm gonna tell you that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But and Texas Tech, I thought they could put up points. NC State kind of shut them out. So go ahead and give me Texas and covering. It's gonna be a shootout, but I think Texas is gonna put it on them.
I think Texas is finally making strides. I will also take the Longhorns. Finally making strides.
I'm going strides, they'll blow it.
I'm going Texas here. Just I do think a little bit of a shootout, but I think Robinson's best player on the field. So
definitely. Buttons.
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I mean, they listened to me last week, finally, and they fed that man. So you got to do it again, please. Texas covers again.
Just give him the ball, man. Give him the ball. All right. This is one of the games we were talking about early, Buttons. It didn't seem right. Tennessee, are they that good this year?
This is weird.
Come
this
on,
is really
man.
weird.
Come
This is
on.
weird, but
Really weird.
Sure. Florida is not getting any respect at all.
None.
I mean, Anthony Richardson alone makes this one closer than the experts think. I'm going Gators.
Rodney Dangerfield.
no respect. I mean, to me, there's a reason. I mean, I like Florida, but there's a reason they're no respect, and that they're just too up and down. I mean, Tennessee is normally that team that's up and down. I think Hooker and Richardson are kind of similar guys, but Hooker, I think, seems to throw the ball a little bit downfield a little bit more, isn't as elite of a runner, but 10.5 is a lot, and I don't love that. I don't love that hook right there, but I'm gonna go Tennessee here. This one should be fun though. Wow.
Tennessee.
That's a lot of points though. I can't
That's
get
a lot of
Florida right
points.
at all. I don't know what they are.
I don't know what they are either. This is just really weird. But I'm going to go Rocky Top. Let's go.
Rocky Top.
Let's go Rocky Top.
I'm with Buttons. Just when you think Tennessee is turning the corner,
Mm-hmm.
and they're there and they're getting back. Because I'm gonna tell you, I miss Tennessee football being good. Like I miss Tennessee football being good. I miss Nebraska football being good. Those two schools back in the 90s when I was watching football, they always had good teams. Always competitive. They had good players, good teams. I mean, if you played NCAA football on a computer, you played with a Tennessee team or Nebraska team back in the day because of the running game or the quarterbacks or the receivers.
No, Chris did.
But man, 10.5. When did they get that good? I gotta take Florida. I think, like Button said, man, Anthony Richardson probably struggled last week a little bit, but I think for a bounce back game, they may not win the game, but it's not going to be a 10.5 point beating. All right, give me Florida. All right. Ooh, we got Toledo,
Ohio,
and San Diego State. This one is a battle of the conferences. Joey has San Diego State. Chris has Toledo. I mean, that line moved. San Diego State's at home. They're getting 3 points. Give me the Marshall Falks, man.
Give me the Marshall Falks as well, JB. Toledo had 70 put on them last week. Of course, I know they were at the Ohio State University last week. And I know San Diego State is just going through some foolishness in their program, but I still like the Marshall Falks to get to 8 or 9 wins.
You hoping?
I'm hoping.
Yeah. I got to ride with my squad here, Toledo. I'll go there, even though they got crushed by Ohio State. We'll throw that one out the window. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, they didn't get crushed. They got Sun. They got Sun. They got
that's a step.
They got called. They got called names. They got what happened? They got atomic wedgies and everything.
They were quellish.
All right, who you got, Buttons?
Good pick, Chris. Good pick. And I love Marshall Falk. He is my favorite football player of all time. But did you know that the Rockets are 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 road games and 6-0 versus a team with a losing record? Toledo rolls.
They definitely got that too at Columbus. One of the two.
All right, Buttons. This is a tough one. We got Arkansas.
This is a tough one.
At Texas A&M. Buttons, who you got?
I don't think that there's a lot of respect going on here for Arkansas. I mean, I think they should be favored. So, I mean, did you know that Arkansas is first in the league in sacks this year? Give me the points all day. I'm taking the Razorbacks.
Taking the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I think that Arkansas just hasn't kind of earned it as far as just traditionally they just seem to always fall off around this time. So but I don't actually love
when the season starts, they fall off.
Well, they always seem to start off good. They always seem to start off hot, and then by the middle of the year, they're out of contention, and they're just. I mean, this isn't the Darren McFadden years. They haven't been good. Who was the super tall quarterback they had that was like supposed to be the next guy?
Matt Jones.
Matt Jones.
They drafted him as a receiver for Jacksonville.
Mallett.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan
Mallett too. Yeah.
Remember that was the years they were supposed to be really good, and they never. So I'm saying they always start off pretty good, and then once they start getting into the middle of the season, they just fall off. So I think, but there's other teams. Remember, Georgia used to do that, and Clemson used to do that. So I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean you're always going to do it. I think Texas A&M got a little overhyped at the beginning of the year with their recruiting class. Actually, I think I'm going Arkansas here.
They did not, Chris. Stop saying that.
I will agree with you as far as Nick Saban doing a great job of getting into Texas A&M's head. They are self-checked right now. Arkansas plus the points.
Do I need to say anything else? You know, I'm going, like Chris said, I'm rolling with my boys. I mean, Texas A&M. I'm going with my squad at home. That's a 1.5 spread. Come on now. You know, if it's a field goal game, it's gonna be a cover. I think Texas A&M. I think the difference is Texas A&M is at home. This was in Arkansas. Arkansas will be favored probably by the same amount of points or more. So that's why I'm taking Texas A&M. Right? Do you remember Matt Jones? Wasn't he an Arkansas quarterback turned receiver? Got drafted around like a 4.3, 4.3, something like that.
Then didn't he get kicked out of the league for like drugs or something?
Probably.
I think so.
Cocaine.
Was it cocaine?
Yeah. Jeez.
Cocaine's a powerful drug, Joey.
He was a bowler though for like remember
cocaine's a powerful drug. Yo, couch. You know that cocaine is a powerful drug joke. You know the F your couch joke too.
Absolutely. He could buy another one.
Oh goodness. All right, so
blouses.
All right, so we got Wisconsin at the Ohio State. Man, that's a big spread. But man, give me the Buckeyes at home representing JB's conference this year, putting a drubbing on the Badgers. Drubbing.
Prime game. The Ohio State University wants to put the Big Ten on notice. Last year was a fluke. We will win every game. We're going to start by stunning the Badgers. We will feature the best running back in the nation. Trevion is going to go off.
He is not the best back in the nation. The best back in the nation is Robinson. Stop it. Just stop.
I don't know, JB.
No.
I mean, I would say you could make an argument for that, but I think you also got maybe the best wide receiver in the country, and you could argue the best quarterback in the country.
Chris, no, you cannot. we would not argue about Robinson and Henderson right now. That is not an argument. Let's move on.
All right.
Now, quarterback, I'll give you Stroud could be the best quarterback. I'll give you Jackson or Jigma. Was it Jackson or Jigma?
Smith, Jigma or something like that. Yeah,
I give you he could be the best wide receiver, but that guy USC is like, I don't know. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there is no argument about Robinson being the best running back.
At least you could say
the only one that's close to that is the kid from Mississippi right now, Evans. He is killing it too.
I don't know.
You could say they're elite at all of those positions, right? I mean, you could definitely say they're elite,
but not Robinson.
There's one person that can settle this. Millions tune in next week. Quinn Ewers will be here to tell us back Oh yeah, we got Quinn Ewers on the show next week. Okay.
Big all right. Yes. We were gonna wait, but it just segued to be perfect. That it just came out. We were gonna hold that.
Goodness. All right. That shit came out when we talked about Texas Tech in Texas, Joe. What happened?
Yeah, I just popped out. Dang it.
Yep. All right, Chris, you got this game.
Yeah, I mean, just for that, I mean, I think that Ohio State's just so much better than Wisconsin, and also, I mean, I did read a stat. Buttons, you'll like this. 0-5 in their last 0-5-1 in their last against the spread against Wisconsin. Wisconsin against Ohio State, so they just don't cover against them.
I like that.
Give me Ohio State.
Definitely like that. CJ Stroud is absolutely balling right now, guys. Did you know he is 62 of 85 for 941 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions?
Video game numbers.
He continues the Heisman path here. Ohio State, as Joey says, sons the Badgers.
Sons. Just remember that, Buttons. Joey got that from me, bro.
Yes, I did.
Don't be thinking, Joey. He said, "Don't take my stuff now and try to give it to Joey." That's my saying. Trust me.
All
right, so we got Kansas State at Oklahoma. Oklahoma looked pretty good. Okay. I guess Nebraska, they came out and gave Nebraska a good old-fashioned behind the woodshed beating.
They
Took them to the woodshed.
They fired their defensive coordinator.
Took him to the woodshed, Joey. The woodshed.
Can't get any worse than Lincoln right now. My goodness.
My goodness gracious, man. But what you got here, man?
So I went kind of back and forth on this one, but Kansas State got absolutely embarrassed last week at home against Tulane.
Yes,
really? Tulane? So I am hoping that they are mad. They keep this one close. Oklahoma really hasn't been tested by a decent team yet. They will be in this one. Wildcats.
Yeah, this one was tough. I mean, the line really hasn't moved. It's kind of staying in that 13-12 range. So, I mean, I guess the bookies feel like they got it right. I feel like Oklahoma, I think with Lincoln Riley leaving, everybody's just kind of feeling like they're just not going to necessarily be there. But I still think Oklahoma, I also, again, have them on my conference. So that gives a little bit of an edge. So I'll go Oklahoma here.
The last time Oklahoma was relevant was when Caleb Williams was throwing a pass for them. This is Oklahoma's opportunity to just continue to let everybody know we are still here. We have an elite coach, and we're going to quietly make our way possibly to the Final Four. They're going to continue to march. They're going to look really good while they're doing it. They will absolutely cover.
All right, Oklahoma and Oklahoma. I got Oklahoma too. All right, so we got USC versus Oregon State. I got to move my squad here, man. They got USC. I talked about them last year, right? Chris was doubting me. I said, Chris, they're going to be a top 10 team. Chris, like, their defense is so bad. Their defense, JB, their defense. But they have Caleb Williams. They have the kid. They got the kid from Pitt, Addison. I mean, they're going to put up numbers. Give me USC. In a tough road game with the Beavers, but give me USC. Joey, who you got?
Buttons, there's only one thing wrong with CJ Stroud. He's not Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams will continue to show why he is the best quarterback in the nation, why he will win the Heisman. USC rolls.
Rolls. Get your roll on.
Yeah, I mean, they I don't necessarily get this line that it's not even a touchdown here, but USC keeps covering. So I guess you can't really go against them until we'll see. I mean, the bookies, I would have thought this would have been a touchdown or more. I guess they're just giving respect to Oregon State being at home. But until a team, until you can set it high enough that they can't cover anymore, then what do they say? Good teams win, great teams cover.
Yeah,
I'll go USC until they feel like the bookies kind of set it up high enough.
Okay, USC. All right, Buns.
I still don't love their defense.
Yeah, did you guys know? Like Chris said, like the USC has covered every game, but Oregon State has also covered every game. So what's the tiebreaker? Well, Joey said him. Caleb Williams. He has the fourth best QBR in college football. He'll make the difference here. Trojans.
Trojans. Trojan man.
Trojan man.
All right, we got UVA versus Syracuse. Syracuse laying 9 points. It must be because Syracuse got that quick strike offense. Man, I thought they were done last week. Done. I told Buttons that they were done. Buttons. They somehow pulled it out because they couldn't stop Iowa. I'm sorry, was it Iowa they played? No, Purdue. They couldn't stop the Purdue quarterback, and that little white wide receiver, he was going crazy on him. That guy was just killing them. And I was like, okay. But I also saw UVA play ODU, and for some reason I muttered the term UVA high-powered offense. No, I made a mistake. I'm retracting that what I said. UVA couldn't. Oh my God, they can't score. They can't score against ODU. Come on now. So I think Syracuse runs away with this game in the Dome. Give me the Qs.
Is it still called the Carrier Dome?
Yes, it is.
Well,
Okay.
it is to me and to others, but they did recently. Yes, they lost that deal, Joey.
Okay.
Oh, what's it called now?
Oh, I don't know, JB. It's called something else.
See,
Oh,
that's bad when Buttons don't know what it is. I don't feel bad.
How
No.
dare they do that?
Oh, JMA Wireless Dome.
AMA.
Oh,
Yeah, nobody's gonna say that.
Get out of here.
It's the Carrier Dome, man.
Exactly.
It's the Carrier Dome. How dare they do that? You're gonna have to figure out how to keep Q's from scoring 30 at the JMA Wireless Carrier Dome. Also, when Sherman Douglas will be there at halftime to give a special speech, I'm taking Q's to roll.
You'll be there with Ronnie Cycli and Derek Coleman.
Cycling nice.
Yeah. So UVA hasn't covered yet. Syracuse covered all three. Also, I mean, if this thing was at 10 when it opened, 9 isn't as big of a number there. So
what do they know? What do they know, Chris?
Well, it's settled at 9. So, but I mean, if you get UVA at 10, that's a key number. 7, 10, 3. Those are the big numbers in betting for football. So, I'll take Syracuse here.
Syracuse, the analytics man takes the cues. Go ahead, Buttons. The floor is yours.
Fellas, welcome to the premiere edition of the Buttons Bonus Game Special with much more to come this season, hopefully.
Woo!
Let me holler at you real quick and give you
He's
some
shooting
facts.
his shot, Joey.
Yes, he is.
Fact. UVA is 2-11 straight up in its last 13 away games.
Yeah.
Fact. UVA is 0-4 against the spread in its last 4 games.
Yeah.
Fact. Syracuse is 7-1 against the spread in its last 8 home games, while overall Syracuse is 10-3 against the spread overall in the last 13. They love playing in the Dome, and according to 2 close personal friends of mine, if I don't pick them tonight, I'm going to see them in the parking lot later, if you know what I mean. Go, Cuse, go!
Nice. There you go. There you have it.
Yeah.
We have our college picks for week 4. We got can Chris come from the bottom? Can Buttons maintain his position and keep picking the bonus games every week? Because if he does, we'll be getting a lot of Syracuse games probably.
It'll be me next week.
Every week, Syracuse.
All right. So yeah, there you go. Chris and the hot one, of course, have sent me their picks, and I will be adding those. If you've checked our YouTube channel, you will see I've been posting all the links to all our things we're doing, so you can follow us and keep up with it and keep track of everything. We need some more followers though, man. What's up, Joe? What's up, Joey? Where my subscribers at? Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right. So guess what? It's time for the Joey hot take. How hot will the take be this week, Joey?
Well,
hot one.
Well, I'm working with.
Well, you starting a sermon. Well, let me tell you what happened down by the river.
By the river, absolutely. It does feature 2 straight up upsets. Excuse me. 3
upset specials.
Ooh,
upsets
3
will be happening in this four-legger. Let me start.
Four-legger? We got a 4-legger. All right. Let's see what we got here.
First one has nothing to do with just the upset, just the spread. I will be looking at the Missouri. What's happening in Auburn? Something it doesn't feel right. That's why I believe I will take Missouri.
You believe you'll take them, or you?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take Missouri plus the points, plus 7.5.
Missouri, are they
Now-
playing at home or away?
They're going down to Auburn.
Mm.
Something.
Who was the quarterback years ago when Missouri was really good? He played for the Skins.
Chase
Daniels, that's who it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plays for the Chargers now.
Oh, does he? I didn't even know he was in
Yes,
the league.
I think yes, he does.
Oh, that dude been making. That dude made about 30 million, and then
That
played
guy
about
is
5
living.
games.
He is living the life.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, he is.
Backup
So,
quarterback in the NFL.
3 straight upsets that will be happening. The
Okay,
first
Joey.
upset we have discussed in our college football pick'ems. Baylor will go to the Cyclones Stadium, and they will win. I will take Baylor on the money line plus 122. Next one will be in Chapel Hill, where the Golden Domes will go to Chapel Hill, and they will win straight up. Money line. Last one. We know Saban got in his head. Therefore, Arkansas, money line.
Not taking that.
That
I'm gonna do your first 3, and I'm gonna put money line on A&M.
that is a mistake, JB.
It's not. Buttons. All right, so we got Joey's Fab 4 parlay picks, his hot take. We got we got Missouri plus 7.
16-10. Plus 16-10.
Plus 16-10. We got Missouri at Auburn with the points plus 7. Baylor money line at Iowa State. You got all road teams, by the way. You got the Golden Domers at UNC money line, and you have Arkansas going to College Station, Texas, against the 12th man and coming out with a straight up win. That is Joey's parlay picks.
What's the line, Joey?
Really like Missouri, huh? Wow.
The line on.
Hold on. Button said you. We like Missouri, huh? Wow. I think Buns is having a little bit of I don't know what he's talking about here.
Yes, you all are better
I may
at this.
go the other way and capitalize on Joey's mistake.
You all are better at this than I. I understand.
Well, I mean, the thing is, Joey, if you're parlaying, you don't necessarily need to hit the. You probably can just take the points and then stack up enough games where the payout is decent.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you really want, if you really are feeling it. But I mean, what's the line? I mean, what's the what is the odds he got?
He's at a plus 1,006 something.
Yeah,
1610, right?
1610.
Yeah. I had a 2-5-3-6 last week, and Houston crapped the bed on me.
Well, Joey, what's if you take Missouri in the points instead of Missouri straight up, what's it get?
I got Missouri points.
Yeah, he took Missouri with the 7 points. He don't think they're gonna win. He think they're gonna cover. Oh my goodness, Buttons.
Yeah.
Yes, again, keep your streak. Get started a streak here, Buttons. What's the lock of the week? What's the Buttons lock of the week?
The lock of the week. Now, I don't know if you can get it. So I picked this game in my 5 pick'em league, right? That I was telling you guys about. Okay, picking 5. I got this at 12.5. It has since moved to 13.5. I would stop at 13.5. If it went any higher, I probably wouldn't. But I'm going with Tulane over Southern Miss.
Okay. Tulane,
well, you got it at
favored by. They're the favorite.
Yeah, they're the favorite. Yep.
You got it at 12.5. What is that? They lock it in like how
they lock it in, Chris, like right at the beginning of the week, all the lines.
So when do you have to get it in by?
You can get it into whenever because it doesn't change. It's locked at that amount. So you can kind of wait a little bit and see how the lines move in this league.
Oh, so that's sweet. You could definitely get some.
Yeah.
You get some free points, pretty much.
Yep. You can look for free points.
Yeah, that's
I'll
cool.
be doing that.
I'm
That's
definitely
basically what
going
all
to
that's
I like Tulane though.
make that bet button.
Southern Miss. I mean, it's more about Southern Miss being horrible.
Yeah, hey, well, you know, if I can capitalize on their piss poorness, then I will capitalize.
Didn't Southern Miss though gave Miami a little bit of fits?
Yeah,
a couple weeks
they
ago.
did. They did.
But yeah, Miami might be counterfeit. We'll see.
Is that a road game or a home game?
Tulane home.
Tulane is at home. Okay, cool.
Roll.
Tulane, they in New Orleans, right? Yeah, they down there in New Orleans. And so, yeah, there we go. The buttons lock of the week, the Joey parlay. We got Chris with the analytics, right? Giving you some good ideas, some good thoughts. Hey, good luck out there betting. You know, I can tell you this: if you're watching and you are using what we're doing and you're betting, I'm guaranteeing you are winning something.
Absolutely.
I'm guaranteeing this, that you will win more than you lose. And that is the goal when it comes to gambling. You can't win all the time. You can't, because you lose all the time, you need to stop gambling. You keep losing. To what, Joey?
Gotta crawl before you walk.
Gotta crawl before you walk. There you go. You got it ain't a marathon. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon, right, Joey?
That's correct.
All right. Awesome show tonight. Chris, let you take us out tonight, man. Go ahead. Give us something good, man.
I want to give it up to the Drew Middle Koopa and the boys.
Drew Middle again.
They won again.
Woo, they 3-0.
They hadn't won in 3 years, and now they're 3-0.
Ooh, nice.
And also give it up to me and Joey's dad and the Diesel Dana. We crushed the chains. Joey was impressed.
Y'all doing the chain crew?
Joey was impressed. Yeah. I was even doing the clip and everything.
Yes, he was.
I was out there killing it.
They look good at it. They look very
yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So that's awesome. Speaking of the Diesel, once again, shout out to
Buttons. Did you hear
the Yahoo point correction people? Shouts out to y'all.
JV
Buttons,
was losing.
Were you watching earlier, Buttons? Let me just tell you.
No, I wasn't. I couldn't watch early on poker.
So over the weekend, Buttons, the Diesel picked up like 7 pitchers on Sunday, and I could not counter because I was too busy doing my Sunday, getting all the kind of the bets together, getting everybody's stuff lined up, and mess with my fantasy football team. So by the time I looked at baseball, I was like, "Oh no, I can't."
Everybody gone.
I was gone. I was like, "Whatever happened, I gotta just take it."
Yeah.
So at the end of the night, it was 14-13. Ooh. I got up in the morning. I wasn't feeling too good. I was upset. Then I'm at my desk around 12:15. I get the message on my phone. 13-13 tie. Ooh. And the tie goes to the higher seed.
Yeah.
So I moved on to the semifinals.
Oh my God.
Thanks to the stat correction.
Yeah.
Thanks to my man Birdie from Miami, who leads the league in steals, by the way, and who I picked up off waivers. Thanks a lot, everybody. Yes, Buttons. I picked up Buttons. Do you realize I picked up him off waivers and Dansby Swanson?
Yeah, I know. You pick up everybody. I get it. Yeah.
Buttons, you hate that I pick up people, though. But it's a proven winning strategy, Buttons.
Yeah, it is. Except for me, right?
And, well, Buttons, everybody can't be JB the champ, Buttons. You know how that works. Okay. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the hardwood here soon. Fantasy basketball.
Can't.
But let me just go ahead and give you all your Knicks right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, look. Just go ahead. Go ahead, get your cue ready. Go ahead, put in Jalen Brunson. Go ahead and
topping. Come on now, let's go.
Go ahead, put him in there already. Let's go ahead and slide him in there. We start to get our draft ready. Just go ahead and take all your New York Knicks put him there. Just draft the whole starting five.
Keep that seat warm for old RJ. Okay, come on in.
That's right.
Yeah, RJ.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, Buttons, please take him. I already know. I've been researching. I already know my draft position. I'm gonna be 12. So I'm just gonna go ahead and make it work from there. All right. I can't pull a Chris. Chris was 12 and drafted a whole bunch of guys who got hurt. I can't do that.
That's always been my style, is to roll the dice on guys who are. I remember one year I took Kevin Love, Dirk. I had like all guys that were like on IL at the beginning of the year.
Oh,
And I just was like, if I can just make the playoffs, I'm good. That was the year like Kevin Love came back for like 2 games and then went right back on IL. And he played like 3 games the whole year for me.
Right.
So it didn't work.
Fantasy sports is just like gambling, man. It's a chance. You hoping your guys hit. Every once in a while they do. Sometimes they don't, man.
Absolutely.
All righty. So, guys, thank you once again for joining me and having this sports conversation and doing our thing. Yep. Next week. What's next week? Yep. Oh, in 2 weeks, I will be headed off to Belize for 4 days.
Oh man.
And yes. Oh, but this, Joey, here's the thing about this, Joey. I'm going for free.
ooh.
I'm not paying a dime. And,
Oh,
yep.
geez.
He ain't paying a dime. He gonna have a dime with him.
Yeah. No, I will not. No, I will not.
Take it
Not
back.
that. No, that's not gonna happen. No,
I thought you were taking your wife, JB.
No, she's not going, man.
Okay.
She's not going this time.
Okay.
No,
okay.
she's not going because this is.
That's what I meant.
That's
Okay, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you. My wife will appreciate that too. No, this is a teacher symposium. So it's kind of the perks of being a teacher. Like every trip I've done with kids, yes.
Buttons is like, hold on, I taught for a while.
He always gets some
I know,
buttons.
man.
You know, I've been to Europe twice, free, Costa Rica free.
Mhm.
Now I'm going to Belize free. So you know, that's all good. And I'm going to the Galapagos next year for free.
Mhm.
So it's you know, that's the perks of being a teacher, man. It's, you know, but it's a lot of work. The Belize trip is no work though. It's just like, hey, they actually they're trying to recruit me because it's not the same company I normally use. It's like it's a recruit. I'm guessing as a recruitment trip, like going to LSU or Alabama, right?
That's right. That's right.
They're trying to recruit me, but anyway. So yeah, but also everybody out there, Survivor Pool, get your stuff in. Don't be waiting till Sunday. Like, are we in? Are you getting in? Get your Survivor pick in, Buttons. I know you thinking like, what's my pick for this week?
I know.
But yeah,
it has been tough.
Oh, I already got a lock, I think.
Yeah, lock, man. This week look kind of suspect, but
Yes,
I tell you, all right, Chris got it. I don't know, Chris, you buying back in, bro?
Yeah, probably.
Like,
well, on that one, that one was my riskier one, so I knew on that one that I was gonna keep rolling the dice. I mean, I went New Orleans first week, Cleveland, so I was just rolling the dice.
Man, I swear, man. Goodness gracious, the Browns killed everybody.
It's been.
I just tell you right now, JB, and you mark me down.
Oh, Buttons, you know it, man. I keep my spreadsheets on.
Always open buttons. They're always
Give me the LA Chargers.
I'm gonna give y'all because I keep 2 spreadsheets, right? I keep 2. I keep the one that I see, and I keep the one that you see. I'm gonna give y'all a quick peek at the one mine looks like. That the one that y'all don't see. See that? Got the money there, bam. There you go.
Yeah.
It's there. I keep good records. Okay. Good records. All right, Buttons. You got the Chargers. Hey, everybody, y'all have a good night. Joey, have a good day at school tomorrow.
You do the same, JB.
Stay away from, them peoples. You got
It's that malarkey.
All right, Buttons, appreciate you. Chris, appreciate you. If y'all bet this weekend, good luck. And have a good one. Thanks for watching. Peace.
All right, guys. Stacks.
Yeah, we always stacking, baby.
Oh.
We always stacking. Always.